What is the impact of electrification here in sort of boosting up the average price of a new car across this nation and beyond?
Well, Keith had it right. The price of electric vehicles, at one point, it was the average price in our calculations was about $66,000. That's more than the household income for most Americans. So we are seeing that come down a bit, some of that because of Tesla's moves, but also because we are seeing automakers start to introduce less expensive ones, and we should see more of that.
What is the permanency of this phenomenon? If we're moving towards electric vehicles and it's a slow transition, how long do prices stay elevated?
I think for a while. I mean, we don't see them coming back down. And I would quibble with Keith a little bit. We started seeing this trend long before the chip shortage. We saw the domestic automakers get out of the car business, the traditional cars, and those lower price cars, leaving that to the Asian automakers. And the Asian automakers have not been able to produce them fast enough to appeal to, people who are on budgets. So that's not going to change. And we are moving more towards electric vehicles. I don't know when the price parity gets there with ICE vehicles, but I think we're in for some high prices for a while.
I just want to bring up what we've been asking our own audience about, Michelle, because I like the fact that you put it into context that 66,000, like it's more than most Americans bring in terms of their annual income. We asked, what is more worrying for you at the moment in terms of the inflationary pressures? Is it the price of EVs? Well, actually, generally, it's only 13% thinking that. It's more about their groceries. It's more about the price of eggs. And I'm afraid we asked a cheeky one. It's the price of love, of course, today being Valentine's Day. 46% are worried about that, and I'm sure they're meaning the services, the idea of going out, getting restaurant bookings and drinks. But to that end, is there a clever way that we can finance autos going forward, that it isn't quite so expensive on a monthly basis?
Well, I think we are going to see some experimentation because this business model just doesn't work for many Americans. I think last week it was, Hyundai announced a subscription service where you pay for your EV. They're doing it on 2 models. On a monthly basis. We may see that kind of thing. Something has to give if we're going to go towards more EVs. I would say that in your survey, if you'd ask, are you more worried about the general price of vehicles? That is what I hear from consumers, and the EV part just layers onto that.
I see. So it's sort of, at the moment, EVs are deemed by many a sort of luxury item.
Oh, absolutely.
Will competition change that?
Oh, it already has. Tesla has done some discounting. They did some discounting at the end of this year. They cut prices. We are seeing lower priced models come onto the market. So competition will certainly impact pricing, but will it really bring it back down to the level that we're used to? Doubtful.
Michelle, we've focused really on the consumer in this conversation. I want to focus on the automakers themselves, pure play like Tesla or the transition names like GM and Ford. How do you summarize 2023 when it comes to this transition to electric vehicles? What is it that you hope to see happen in the next 12 months?
Well, I don't know if I'd hope to see it happen, but I think what we are going to see is a much more competitive environment. Tesla has dominated the EV market. It still does. It still will. But we are starting to see some automakers make some inroads, making their Tesla's market share go down. So I think what we're watching for is how much inroads do other automakers make with EVs.